Okay, take two. All right, so I actually did all this, got to this point, and went, oh, I have no audio. All right, so for patch management, you need to make sure of a few things. First of all, client side, when you install the Altiris agent, it installs 4 pieces that you'll see in this list. And when you want to do certain sections like inventory solution, patch management, and software delivery, you have to have the corresponding sub-agents. As you hear, we have patch management right here. So we're good on the client side. Now, I'm going to, we'll show this in a minute, explain it. So you go settings, all settings, or settings, agents plugins, all agent plugins. If you do this one, it drops you right into the folder. If you were to do all settings, it's the same thing with more to it. You just have to come down yourself. See, it'll look like this, and you need to go agents and plugins and whatnot. Patch management is right here. You want to make sure that the install and upgrade are enabled. This right here, this policy is the policy that you will patch. This is where you set your schedule. So as you see, we have a schedule. Starts 1/1/2008, which means anytime, which means pretty much ASAP. We'll change it to 2020. Now we'll hit the calendar. At least it jumps us here. Let's do 7. Click here. There we go. Today is the 17th. So we'll set it for 20th. We'll set it for Monday, right? 3 attempts. You can notify the user, notify 1 minute, show progress message. I don't want to notify. Restart, never. Now, this gets tricky. If you want to notify the user, but you do not want it to force reboot, you do have to check this. You have to say restart at the end of software update cycle. Now, what we do, notify the user, and we do not set this. Allows you to user to defer. Maximum deferral time. Wait. Say every 2 hours. We won't set the maximum, because I think after that, then it will force reboot. Let's see. Microsoft patches. Actually, it might not be Microsoft. Patching has completed. I'm not sure what I was holding on that. Set Control and P. Has completed. Please reboot at your convenience. Ugh. All right. So we have this. We have to say save. Now, this, as you notice, there's no targets here. Okay, no target at all. This is for every computer. If I come down to this machine, so I'm actually on my admin PC. If you haven't seen my other videos, there's a Windows 10 box. It's my admin machine, has the Altiris agent. I run the console on it. All right, but if we go to software updates and we look here, there's our 2008. This was our policy, right? And next restart, never. We say update. Look at that. Default update 3 a.m. every day starting Monday, July 20th. Still no restart. So that means our policy is working. But what if you wanted to target computers? You got to have a pilot group, you have test group, you have test machines. So what you do is you simply right click, you clone, and we will call it test machine patch policy. All right. Now from here, you're going to enable it. You can set the schedule. I will go ahead and move this now to 19th. And we will do 1 a.m. Everything else we're going to keep the same. But look, now we have an apply to. Apply to. We have no recently used targets. So we'll go targets. And this is where we have to create, all right, folder. lab targets. All right, let's do folder. We'll do patch targets. All right, now we will do new target. All right, so admin PC target. Start with computer and exclude computers not in computer list admin PC. Okay, hit update. Always should do that. You should just see your list because if we accidentally had it like this, you notice how it's everything except. See the Mac. So we'll do this update. Take a look. It looks right. Okay. Okay. We will hit save. Okay. Now refresh here. See, now you see it's there. Something else I'll typically do is I will rename and do one. The default, I don't rename it. I don't touch it. I don't mess with it because when you install RU, a release update, or a hotfix or something, it may rename it back. It is a canned item. So I typically will clone things, leave the canned item alone. So now when we refresh, we have this. So see, we have the one test pilot group, test machine, then we may have 2.pilot production group, and then we may have 3 production enterprise. And then what happens is by doing that, if you've included everybody within those, this default really won't be used. You don't disable it though. You want to leave it enabled because it's still a catch-all. It'll catch the machines that may have missed out on the other ones. So leave that. Okay. So now if we come back down here, we check in, got another new config. It takes a little bit. This one should shift to 1 o'clock. All right, so that's that. Now, on this, what you need to do is you need to run patch management PM import. That's what this right here is. You can set them up to run under a schedule, daily, weekly, monthly, or you can hit start now, run it now. Here are all the items listed in patch management that you can do. A lot of these they're not really patches. They're like another install of software. So what I'm going to do, because I believe, if you notice here, well, actually that one went fairly quick. I don't know why this one took so long. It looks like 17 hours. But we'll probably dabble around with this with 7-zip and do it. Sorry about that. All right. So we're going to do 7-zip, but for now, once you make your selections, and here's a note: if you go into Microsoft, right, this will make your patch management list a lot bigger. So you kind of don't want everything, like I'm going to do here. I'm going to check it out, see what happens. But if you look through here and if you uncheck .NET cores, that's fine. And framework, it gets to be tricky when you get down to certain OSs. It gets to become on a PM import, you may forget. So it's easier to check off the top level, just so you know everything in Microsoft is checked off. Notepad++, well, we could do that one too. Anyway, once you do that, you hit save. You will then do a schedule, or like I said, start now, well, which I just did, and it will run. Now, I already did this, and you just saw that screenshot. There are settings up here that you can also utilize. Incremental. Delete previously downloaded data. You have do not revise with vendor changes, do not distribute or delete superseded. So languages, all right, and here's the default PM import. Let's see what we got here. Automatically revise software updates. Now, if you're one that you don't have to worry about change management. You don't have to worry about things. You can do this and enable distributions. What will happen is, let's say 3 months ago you did a patch. Well, this month you want to deploy this month's patches. Well, that old patch was revised. This PM import with this option will actually download, stage, and set a policy for you. Now, if you're fine with that, you can utilize this. Typically, a lot of people don't because you got to do change management. You want to test it on your test machines, and all that happy stuff. Automatically disable or delete superseded updates. That's a nice one. Disable rollout of superseded updates. Uh, Disable rollout of superseded updates if they exist. Delete. So it depends on this as well, and then you could choose which ones that do not apply. I don't utilize this as well. I like going and looking at superseded, highlight, and get rid of them myself. And down here is where we were with all this, okay? So that's the settings. Once the PM import runs and completes, you will see this screen, which I showed. It shows how many I have imported, how many were deleted because they're superseded. All right, now you can get the patch management two different ways: Home Patch Management or Actions Software Patch Remediation Center. Patch Remediation Center drops you straight into the patch, right? So I'll wait for this to load. Now see, you can do different items here, but as you see, we have Java now listed here. We have Google Chrome. We have VirtualBox. These are all items because we checked them off. So this list can get pretty big. I see Snagit. I see Wireshark. Yeah. So if you want to get rid of them, back on that other screen, you can uncheck all those and then check off the delete previously downloaded, and that should get rid of them out of this list. All right. So for now, let's take a look. So we have nothing. All right. So this is this. Now if we go home, patch management, this one's a lot nicer. So there's a lot of items down the side. You've got compliance remediation, assessment scan, which needs to also be configured, and settings, remediation, and here is our PM import that we did. What I like about this view is it shows applies to how many computers. Now we just did the PM import. It takes a little while for computers to update, run a scan, and start actually showing things. Let's see, this last ran at noon, which was an hour ago. Let's just go ahead and fire it off again. So patch management will run. Server needs to update. But typically, this machine is a Windows 10. Let's take a look. System. So system info. I like the screen better. All right. I am just going blind today. So Windows 10 Pro. Just do it this way. 1909. Okay. So we know for fact that the Windows 10, now something else to understand with patches from Microsoft at least, MS, yeah, there's MS 20s, which is it's a month, and then you have MS-NS, which there's a lot of patches here to sift through. MS-NS, say you learn different ones, what there is. These SSUs, service stack updates. If you do not do these, patches won't come out. So I highly recommend in an environment to always do all SSU. So as an example, we will do MS 2007 SS. And here are all the SSUs. Now, if you look, you can see what version. So 1909. I don't see 1909. 20. Servicing stack for 2020. 2020. That's a new one. I thought that was 2004. All right. So there's 2004. Server 2012. Ah, interesting. Anyway, so you can do these multiple ways. You can do them individually, one at a time, or you can just take them and set. You can just download them and then individually distribute and create individual policies, or you can just say distribute package. And what it'll do is it'll bundle them all together. And what you can do is up here under name, you can do July 2020 SSU, we'll call it, right? Now you can leave this to all computers because even though these go to different ones, Assessment Scan will actually allocate which patches belong where. So we'll say next, we will enable it, and we will say distribute. Now this is going to take a while to set. It's got to go out. It's going to go out to the web. It's going to grab these. They're like a gig. Well, what's this one? This one says, I said a gig. Here we go. And it says 14 meg. But as you notice, they'll start getting, oh, these are SSUs. The Windows 10 patches are cumulative. They get bigger and bigger every month. So we're going to let this download, and we will be right back. All right, so there we go. It is downloaded. We will say close. Now, if we go to manage policies, this is where patches end up. That's why what you'll see is it's not bad using Patch Remediation Center because it kind of puts you right in here. If you rely on that applicable column, we'll double check. I don't think that's here on this one, but here's the whole thing. So this is the exact policy you have. If you wanted to use this on a different schedule, let's say somebody hit you up saying, you know what, this has to go out now or tonight or immediately, you can come into just this one set of patches because, see, that's the other thing about grouping them that can be a pain. It's nice because they're all in one, and you can say run other than agent default as soon as possible on a schedule. You can add yourself scheduled time, repeat. You can set all this stuff up. For us, we're just going to leave it like this. Now let's bring this guy up. Update config. I see it did change the 19th at 1 a.m. eventually. Okay. So that is still going. We'll let that go. All right. Let's just go to Patch Remediation Center since we're right here. All right. CSC Java. What do we have for 7-zip? All right, so description 7-zip. When was this? This was February 7-zip 19. All right, let's download 7-zip. Oh, I think I already have 7-zip on this machine. Yes, I do. And we have version 19. All right. So we're not going to do 7-zip. Let's take a peek at what else. There was something else I saw we could do. So if you go the old way locating things, PM import is down here. Oh, so here we go, right? So run system assessment scan on computers. This is a job and task you can assign to run. But here is this. What was, oh, Notepad++. Do we have Notepad? No, we do not. Okay. Yeesh. All right. Let's go out here. All right, let's take a, let's shoot for Notepad 7, 64-bit, installer. No, wrong. Don't want that one. Trying to rush here. All right, we want this one. Now, one other thing we didn't do yet, we don't have inventory set up on this computer or on any of our computers. I never did I didn't do a video on that. Oh, okay, updated package. No, I do not want the updated. So we'll close this, close this. So 7-zip was, Notepad++ was right here. That's nice. Now, what we want to do, manage policies, I believe. Discover an inventory, inventory. So here we go. So there is a full inventory by default. Looks like it's enabled. Hardware, software. Okay. 5 machines. It was set today. Set to run weekly. Delta. So you can do your full and then do your deltas another day, but that means we should be good. But we're going to want to, all right. Settings, all settings, software. I know I'm bouncing around a lot. Hopefully you can keep up here. So instead of using a job and task to do your scans, there is a Windows System Assessment scan already set on the machine. And whatever you set here, so if you create yourself a specific target to patch, or let's say you have legacy machines that you don't want to touch, or let's say you only manage certain machines, you can create a target and you can assign it here. Now, anytime you download a new patch, it'll automatically target that target list, which is nice. So we have this set to run every 4 hours, assessment scan. That's good. Core settings. Yeah. Here's where the updates are. Custom severities. I use this. This is actually nice. Let's do, I think I did some of my other videos. Lab deploy. We'll say add, save. I'll show you where we'll use that. That's informational up there. All right, so Windows settings, patch remediation. All right, so after patches go, you can have it check every 30 minutes and it will attempt to install. So that's what's nice about this. All right, so that's set, packages, and other options. Okay. All right, let's do Notepad plus plus. Oh, we did a set. Man, what version did we do? Oh, it did say there was a newer version, so which we're on. Trying to rush here, so I may not be seeing it. I don't see help about there. Whatever. Oh, wait, question mark. About. All right. Oh, we're straight up on V7. 7 dot nothing. So as we see it up to 7.88. So let's give this a try. Like I said, from my understanding, this is actually a software delivery, but you can utilize patch management. So let's distribute. Okay. Now we have it for 5 machines. This is good for us to see if it's actually going to deploy to all 5 or not. Shouldn't. If it's patch, you expect it to only go where it's applicable. All right. 3264-bit installer. We will say distribute. It's got to go out and download. All right, and it downloaded pretty much immediately. Okay, so we say close. And like I said, if you refresh this, under here, we now have Notepad right here as well. Now, if we check our machine in, update, It may take a little bit. So we haven't run a full inventory as well, so that might be part of it. Okay. Let's just try bump things along here. Go membership update. We'll do a full. Shouldn't take long. There's nothing really in here. Oh, I still have the delta every 5 minutes. You definitely don't want that. Typically an hour or 2 or 3. All right, and then you want to do the policy update next. You always want to do one of the top 2 first, then your policy. Now let's see if our machine notices anything new. Says no. We're going to let it go for a while. While we're at it, though, let's go back here. Inventory. When this is weekly. And as I was telling you, there is sample. Let's do inventory. Custom inventory. Update hardware, software. Let's see if the software one will do it. Quick run on admin PC. Now if we look back here under tasks, see, it's running. Now it's complete. All right. Of course, there'll still be nothing yet because now that the inventory is uploaded, you have to wait for filters to update. See if we can bump it again. I'll just do delta. And then this. Alright, so it's still sitting there. Not yet. Another thing you can do, let's do admin PC. Oh, yeah. Here it is. View, inventory, inventory. Oh, wait, it's actually software management. Add, remove programs. It sees we have Notepad. Okay, so that's the first step. Okay, the computer knows, the database knows that it has it. Because it's done through patch management. Like I said, I haven't done this before, trying to patch, if you will, which should install the new version. Alright, Alright, so I'm running dual monitors and another little goof up on my end, and I ended up being on the wrong monitor, and I did a lot of the video. I had to crop it. So what we were doing was trying to get Notepad++ to install. It did. And then after that, I ran a compliance report on my machine that said that I did not have the latest SQL Studio, Management Studio. So I set that up and downloaded that. It's the same premise that you just saw, but I will just run through a little bit of this again since I goofed it. Let's go to reports, all reports. I went to compliance by computer. And then as you see, there's 8 installed, 9 not installed. So if you do view applicable, what's nice with the applicable is it'll say, this is all the patches that are applicable to the machine, and then a true or false. See, true and false if they're installed. So this was a false, now it's a true. So when we look through here, what else we got? We got MSVC 14, 2006, 16. So actually it's probably 06/16/20. So June 16th, 2020. So MSVC 14. I'll just walk through this one real quick. MSVC 14. It's interesting. There we go. It's this guy. Yep, that's what I said. 6/16/2020. So same thing. Right click, distribute. I always leave it default to all because it will only go to the machine if it requires it. So what happened was I checked the machine in and the SSU failed. There may be prereqs. Remember, I didn't download all the patches yet. I'm going to let things settle. But Notepad went and SQL Management Studio went, which is nice, which means we can deploy software as patches. So depending on your change control requirements or whatever. What else is nice is you don't have to create the software resource, the install command. It's all done for you. So let's refresh this guy, bring us down. And what I did was I set the SQL. I did run as soon as possible, so we didn't have to wait because we are set for Sunday to install at the moment. So let's bring this up. Update config. Look at that, new configuration. And look, there's actually two pieces to this. So there we go, scheduled. If you bring up Task Manager, you see it's running a patch assessment. And then it will do the install, and then it runs a patch assessment again at the end, which I'm not sure 7 did that. I think that was in one of the talks I did the other video. So before in 7, I think it did a patch assessment to determine what patches were required. Then it installed the patches and just sat there. I don't think it did a second patch assessment. Don't quote me on that. So, or you can if you want. So as we see, this one's installing, and if you look, you'll eventually see the files, but these should go good. You can reboot, you'll be good to go. Oh, I'm going to cut the video here. If you have any questions or anything you'd like to see, let me know related to patch, and I'll throw it up here. And looking forward to some comments. All right, everybody. Bye.